Hello and welcome to another Mischief Gaming Show Top 10. This time we're going to be looking at the top 10 Metal Gear Solid boss fights. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Number 10, Raven. So I'm going to start off this list with one of the most interesting bosses in the Metal Gear Solid series. That person is Raven. When you first encounter Raven, he is piloting a fucking tank. Yeah, the man's a fucking beast of shit. And there's two other people with him in this tank, so I guess it's a pretty big fucking tank. Yeah, anyway, you gotta watch out for mines. He's shooting at you with the Gatling gun on top of the tank. He's also shooting missiles at you and all kinds of crazy shit. And you have to figure out that you have to throw grenades into the tank in order to defeat it. Anyway, he survives his tank blowing up, no problem. He's like a fucking boss. And later on in the game, you encounter him, and this crazy motherfucker's carrying around a big ass Gatling gun, hunting you the fuck down. And even though Snake's badass, you can't just sit there and fight him like face to face. No. You will get mowed the fuck down. You have to run and hide for your fucking life. It's either that or you're done. Anyway, this is one of the most tense boss fights that I can remember in the Metal Gear Solid series. You can hear his breath, and the atmosphere is kind of claustrophobic. He's a big fucking dude. He can fucking shoot you from all the way down the hall and shit. It's crazy. So you really have to use all your skill here to kill him. And you have to use those little remote guided missiles, but if you don't do it correctly, he will shoot them down, and your location will be compromised, which always sucks. Anyway, after doing some heavy damage to Raven, he gets more hostile and becomes louder, and playing as a kid, it was kind of scary. I was like, holy shit. Anyway, after beating him, you don't even kill him. He's just kind of like wounded. His Ravens finish the job all for you, like, they devour him. There's nothing left. But before that even happens, he says, I'm gonna look out for you, man. And later on, in later games, you get hints that Raven is still looking over your shoulder. So, I just think that's pretty interesting. Number 9 is the end. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is the fucking end so low on this stupid list? Well, I'll tell you, that's because you don't actually have to fight him. There's actually multiple ways on getting out of fighting him. Number 1, you could get a sniper rifle early in Metal Gear Solid 3 and shoot him from a distance in his wheelchair and he will explode. You'll get hit with his wheelchair if you're not careful enough, but still, you don't have to fight him. Or, so during the fight, you can go and save, exit out your PlayStation or whatever you're playing it on, change the time to a week from, whenever you're playing, and he will be dead upon loading in that save state. However, if you do decide to fight him, it is one epic sniper duel, and I think it's better than that one sniper duel we got in Metal Gear Solid 5, the quiet one. Number 8 is Laughing Octopus. Okay, so I really didn't enjoy much of the bosses in Metal Gear Solid 4, and I don't know, they just kind of didn't fit in as well as I would have liked them to. But if I had to pick one out of all those bosses, all those emotional animals, those fucking animals. So Laughing Octopus is probably my favorite fight, and also the most interesting fight, because not only is she fucking creepy as shit with her laughter and, the smoke and all that sort of shit, and so just playing hide and seek, She can also, like, change into crazy shit, like, she changed into this, like, big-ass version of the Mark II, which is interesting. I think she's definitely the most interesting of those people. And all in all, it was a creepy, fun time. It was a fun battle, and that's why she's number 8 on the list. And you also get a pretty sweet face mask for beating her, and you get to look like young Snake, so thumbs up to that. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops for me is one of the most underrated Metal Gear Solid titles of all time. Hell, I think it's better than Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, but that's just me. Yeah, anyhow, this game had some really kick-ass boss fights. One of them is Null, who is a fighter with no name, but he does have a name, it's Null, so that's kind of weird. Anyhow, When I first played the game, Noah was hard as fuck. He could cut your bullets in half with his machete, and he could also cut you in half with that machete. Not only did he have this machete, he had a Uzi he can use to like gun you down, and timing was everything with his boss fight. And after beating him, it turns out that this guy was Gray Fox. I was like, holy shit, that is an awesome tie-in. I love it. And it's just really nice to have sort of, you know, kind of half a face with the name of Gray Fox. Number 6, yet another boss from Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops is Gene, who uses some like weird ass suggestion powers. I guess a psych Snake out, or you know, whatever the hell. He can like read Snake's body language and dodge his attacks. He also has like this weird charge up thing that takes hella damage. His weapon of choice is knives. You can throw knives at you, and he's pretty good with knives. This is a general thing. Anyhow, you really have to be patient with this boss battle, and I just remember it being very challenging, and the fact that I remember it is the reason why it's on this list. Alright, number 5 is Gray Fox. So funny story with Gray Fox. When I was a kid, my uncle got me Metal Gear Solid along with the strategy guide, and on the back of the strategy guide were screenshots of the game that I haven't seen yet. You know, I was a kid, so I was interested in looking at all that shit. There was one image, well, it looked like Solid Snake and Spider-Man, and he was like doing flips and shit. I was like, what the fuck is Spider-Man doing in a game where you could just choke the life out of people? Like, what the fuck's going on? Anyway, silly me, that wasn't Spider-Man at all. That was Gray Fox, and holy fuck was Gray Fox an amazing boss fight. I mean, just look at his opening. Talk about PP Pants City. I mean, right, Negan? Holy shit. I mean, this guy was fucking, that was some scary shit. That was like, I thought I was playing like a horror game. Like, just stepped into that. How was I gonna beat a ghost? How the fuck was I gonna beat a ghost? Yeah, anyway, it turns out it wasn't a ghost. It was a half-dead cyborg ninja that can turn invisible. And you know what? It was not fun dying over and over again, only to find out that you have to punch him to death. Like, what the fuck? How was I supposed to know how to do that? But anyway, that's the magic of the original Metal Gear. Well, after playing hide and seek for, you know, a couple of times, the murder man decides to go all Pikachu on your ass as he uses Thunderbolt, and I'm dead, so fuck this, rage quit. But anyway, after you really do beat him, it was actually one of the most satisfying boss fights in the series. Number 4, Metal Gear Race. So after a whole game of I wish I was Solid Snake, then getting a badass ninja sword and cutting bitches up, all while being confused about the Lale Lule, what my 11-year-old mind couldn't handle that shit. Yes, I played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 1 at a very young age. Anyhow, I played and beat Metal Gear Solid 1 before Metal Gear Solid 2, so I felt like a total badass. I was like, yeah, I beat Metal Gear Rex, Metal Gear Ray ain't shit. And then it turns out that you have to beat a whole fucking army of Rays, and it was just like, damn, son, like, way to fucking outdo the shit out of the first game. I mean, damn. Holy fuck, that was crazy. But anyway, I still think Metal Gear Rex is better. I mean, a shitty version of Rex beat up a Ray, so yeah, you know, hashtag Team Rex. For number 3, we have Revolver Ocelot. And okay, I don't think this boss fight was actually anything special as far as like the mechanics of it. You're just running around the room shooting at each other in Metal Gear Solid 1. But that wasn't the reason why this guy is on top of the list, because he has multiple boss fights and they kind of connect. I really think that connection is what's special here. He introduces himself and his favorite weapon, the Colt Single Action Army Revolver, when the battle starts, and then he starts talking about all kinds of crazy shit, how like gunpowder reminds him of like fresh corn in the morning, and just like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? And he laughs when you shoot him, like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. Anyway, after beating him, he loses his hand, And he says some shit like, "Oh, I haven't had a good battle like this in a long time, Snake." And that's why you have the same code as him. So it turns out that in Metal Gear Solid 3, he gets his knowledge and love and appreciation for his cult single action army from the one, the only Big Boss. And we actually get a pretty fun boss fight out of it that feels more like a revolver battle than the original game did. If you're a dick like me, you can also drop a bunch of bees on him, which I find fucking hysterical. Anyhow, at the end of the game, you do get to play a little bit of a Russian roulette. I don't know, I just love how they spun these two games together. It really makes you feel like you had to wait a long time to battle him, but in reverse. I was also kind of disappointed that we didn't get like one last duel in Metal Gear Solid 4. And also, I really didn't do anything in Metal Gear Solid 5. I think it was like the most boring Ocelot ever. Yeah, number 2, we have the Joy / boss. And I really gotta say, I don't know how you have a top Metal Gear Solid bosses without having this character on it. I mean, this character has so much backstory and is essential to the Metal Gear Solid lore that you just have to have her. Not only that, she is an incredible character with a tragic backstory, and just fucking love the boss. Anyway, so if you don't already know the boss's backstory, she is Snake's mentor. They develop CQC together, but the boss is a little bit more skilled than him. It turns out that the boss defects the US, and Snake has to kill her in order to complete his mission. But I don't know why I'm telling you all this. You just go play Metal Gear Solid 3. It's the best. Anyway, after kicking your ass multiple times in this video game, it's time for the final showdown in a field of white flowers. Her camo is also white, and it's really fucking hard to see her, by the way. And you must use a combination of CQC as well as your weapons to take her down. Snake then kills her, and you really feel the emotion from this fight. It's really hard to explain, but Jesus Christ, this fucking game was awesome. After Snake takes her down and completes his mission, it turns out that the boss was actually sent by the US to defect. It was her mission to get killed at the hands of Snake, and it just makes a sad story even sadder. I mean, that credit song with Snake saluting to her grave, goosebumps, I tell ya, goosebumps. And that's not even like all of like the character. There's just so much more to her that you'd be really doing yourself a disservice by not playing Metal Gear Solid 3. If you have to play one Metal Gear in your lifetime, that's the one I'm gonna recommend. And finally, at number 1, Psycho Mantis. I mean, this guy was fucking crazy. The amount of fourth wall break was unbelievable with this one, and like, holy crap, blew my mind when I was younger. It was so cool that he could read your saves and knew how many times you saved and died and all kinds of crazy shit. And the fact that he can move your controller on top of it, it was just like... The game then told me I had to change my controller port to port 2 in order for him not to read my moves. Was fucking cool as well. You know, this boss fight really took advantage of the PlayStation 1 hardware. After that, he would throw you like shadow balls and all kinds of crazy shit, as well as take over Mel's body and actually have her shoot you or herself. So you really had to figure out how to bring her down without hurting her. Then he would make the screen go black for whatever reason, hide, and Hideo would show up. And I always thought that was weird because my television was a Sony set, so I don't know where Hideo came from. A wink wink, a nudge nudge. I don't know what brand that is. What brand is a Hideo? Sounds like a fucking TV though. Anyway, after defeating him, it turns out he had a pretty tragic life. And you get his face reveal, and it's so bad Meryl almost throws up. He sort of redeems himself by helping Snake move a bookshelf, and yeah, dude, I think you're still going to hell. I mean, I don't think moving bookshelves will save your eternal soul, but thanks anyway. Yeah, anyway, that was my top 10 Metal Gear Solid bosses. What are yours? Tell me in the description below. Do you think any of my choices are bullshit? Feel free to let me know. And if you like this video, I like it. I don't care. You can dislike it. That's cool too. Whatever. Thank you for watching. That's all that matters. And for more videos like this, keep it here to the Mischief Gaming Show. I'm your host, Bob Zombie, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and hey, if you like Metal Gear, you might like these other videos. The top 10 weird things in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and also the disappointments of Metal Gear Solid 5, or my disappointments of Metal Gear Solid 5, I should say. Thanks again for watching.